welcome back to another reading vlog. I'm Sophia, and this is actually gonna be like a super quick vlog because it's Wednesday night and I'm ending my vlogs on a Sunday or on a Monday. So yeah, but on last Sunday, and I'm not so sure I mentioned this, but if I did, I'm sorry. I finished The Hunger Games and I finished Learn My Lesson by Katie Robert. Both were on my March TBR. Learn My Lesson was for the Smutty Kinky Family read along, and we're reading all of Katie Roberts' Wicked Villains series. And The Hunger Games was my reread prompt from my March TBR, which at the time I'm filming this, it's not up yet because I haven't touched my computer and I should have programmed it, but when I uploaded it to my account, I was just so tired that I closed my computer and I forgot to program it to go up on the proper day. Anyway, that aside, uh, I also did finish yesterday, The Hand on the Wall by Maureen Johnson, and it was so disappointing. I gave it a 3 stars, but it was so disappointing. Um, just because I was expecting more. They had like a great setup and they ruined it by doing the most basic things. And it was just a really disappointing read. I was expecting so much more from the end of the Truly Devious saga. I loved the first book, yeah, with the second one, and this one was just such a big disappointment for me. Anyway, something new because I'm not so sure what I should do with my Bujo vids. Because sometimes I upload them on the right time, sometimes I just skip them and then film like 3 or 4 together. So let me know down below if you would just like to see them maybe like in a vlog, or if you would just like to, like, if I don't put, for example, February, which I didn't post, then I should just forget February and like skip ahead. I'm just gonna show you this because I know that the Bujo vids that are currently on my channel, I have a weekly setup, but for me right now that's way too time consuming. I'm not about to spend like an hour extra when I'm doing my spreads to do a weekly where I am space constricted. Sometimes I don't use the weekly because I don't have anything to do that day, and I just have to put post-its for other things because I don't have enough space on my own spread. So I decided to do something like this. It's pretty, but it's fairly simple. What I do is with the colors of the month, I do like this little rectangle that's there, and then I write to do here, and on the rectangle I write the date, and then I just put the little squares for the tasks that I want. Or if I have like an email, for example, it will be an @ symbol, and then I just go along. My letter is pretty big and rounded, so it does take up a lot of space, but I'm not mad with it. Honestly, it's working pretty well for me. I've been using it every day and it helps me. Like, this is the first thing when I get home. Like, I go to college and everything, and then I get home and I take off my shoes, and usually I change outfits because I do have like my walk around the house outfit, and it's not the pajamas. But what I do is I take off my shoes, switch clothes, and like put on my cozy little socks that I use to walk around the house, and I open my bullet journal because I usually set this up like the night before. It's like the thing that I do before bed, like, except reading. I'm reading this, by the way. I'm halfway through it. I'm loving it. But I'm just, it's my task. Like, what do you need to do the next day? Plan your tasks according to the time you actually have. So, for example, tomorrow I have a nutritionist consult at 5:45. I have to send some recommendations to my big sis of things to read on the Kindle, because she got a Kindle for Christmas. But so she's like, oh, what should I read first? And I'm like, honey, chill. I'm gonna send you a list. So yeah, I need to do some stuff, like to send some things, financial things, to the company where I work. I need to update my resume because I want to do a volunteering at an event called Iberanim, which is basically an event about anime, and I love it, and I really, really, really want to go. So for that, I need to update my resume because there are some things that I'm missing there. I'm also applying to the vacation things again, so I do need to update it to include last year. So yeah, and then I have to like edit one vlog, and that's like the first thing I'm doing when I get home. And then I have to rewrite my appointments that I take in classes tomorrow, and I have to at least gather some stuff to take to my dad, and I have to do something else, but I will show you tomorrow when I have more light, because they're too pretty to be seen in this kind of light. So I will show you everything tomorrow. This usually evolves like with my need. For example, I think I'm gonna add here that I need to clean my chair with of my clothes, and I need to do my bed, because those are things that are like high priority, or they're like the first thing that I'm gonna do when I get home. So yeah, so this is my new system. It does take more space than the other one, but I honestly don't care, because bullet journals are to be used and they are to be functional. I do like my pretty spreads, like my timetable, my self-care part, my things to seek out, my reading tracker, my TBR jar. I do love, like, come on, I love it. They're pretty, yeah, but for the things that I'm gonna use every single day, I need them to be practical, and I need them to be easy to do, and I need them to fit my needs. So if one day I have nothing to do, then I will put nothing to do there, like I will not write it. But if, on the other hand, for the other days I have a lot of things to do, then I'm gonna need space to write it. And with the start of my classes, I always have to rewrite my notes, and I have to start making formularies so I don't get overwhelmed when tests start. I always need to do one exercise or the other, so this list needs to be able to evolve with me and my needs. So I think this is the best way. I'm liking it. It's pretty simple, but I'm really loving it, and it's pretty. It's pretty in all its simplicity. So yeah. Hi guys, good morning. I was supposed to vlog on the weekend and everything, but I was at my dad's, and everything was just a bit tense. And then my cousins and aunt and uncle showed up, and then I actually came home yesterday, but I had like the hugest headache you can imagine, and I kind of just wanted to sleep, and I was like, Mom, please help me make it stop. And she was like, take this and go to bed. You look like a freaking ghost. And so I came to bed, and she asked my brother to ask me something, and I thought I answered him that I was nearly asleep, but apparently what I said was, I told Mom I was too tired. I'm sorry, I will do that tomorrow. Regarding what? Well, my mom told me, but I have no recollection of this, but it's because my nails are super freaking long, and yeah, I need to get them to a more manageable size, because this is annoying me like hell. Anyway, I need to wrap up this week because I read so freaking much, and I'm so freaking proud of myself. given that two of the books I had started in February, but I read most of them March, and I finished them this week. And so I finished 5 books this week, which is like, I have finished 6 books in both January and February, and now I finished 5 books in the first week of March. Like, yes. So I finished Learn My Lesson by Katie Robert, which was the smutty read of the month. It's book 2 in the Wicked Villains series, and I give it a 3 stars. It just was kind of meh. I will go into a bit more detail about the story and everything on my official wrap-up for the month. But yeah, so then I read The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. 4 stars. I liked it. It's something I know, and it's something I love. It's not something that makes me vibrate, which you will see what is me vibrating in a bit. Don't take that the wrong way, Sarah. I know you, and Jenny, and Julia, and Carmen. Stop. I can see your minds working. Stop. Anyway, after that, I finished The Hand on the Wall by Maureen Johnson. Again, this was a book I had started in February, but I read, again, most of it in March, and I did finish it on Monday, Tuesday, whatever, I finished it. Meh. I was so disappointed. I'm still kind of iffy if I'm giving it 3 stars or 2 stars, but I'm letting it sit at a 3 stars for now. I may bump it down to a 2.5. I don't know. I was so disappointed by this book. Again, more thoughts on the wrap-up. Then, and now, yes, I have finished The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. I give it a 4.5 stars. 4 or 4.5, around that. I was expecting a more intense read than what I got. I think the action is slow because you're always jumping between her present state and her previous state. And so it takes a while for you to actually get to the actions and for them to voice out the actions. And when they do voice out the actions, they glaze it over. And I was not expecting that. I was expecting that something more crude and, specific, explicit. Not what I got. Kind of mad about that. But the story was really good. I think it's a book maybe all women should read, maybe all men should read. I think it's very well done. I just hoped that some of the more outraging parts were not glazed over as they were, but I can deal with that. And then, this weekend, I read it in 2 sittings. I finished Thunderhead. Thunderhead is a 500-page book, and I read it in 2 sittings. I read 320 pages Friday, and I read the rest yesterday. And oh my god, 5 stars. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. Have I said I loved it? Because I loved it. And oh my god, it's so good. We get a new character, and we get into the minds of something we know, and oh my god, and that ending, I was crying on the bus. Oh my god, that ending. And there's a plot twist. When I found that out, I was like, oh my god, how can you do that? How can you I love that book. I can't wait to pick up the toll. And the prompts for the owls aren't out yet, and I need to see that first before I do my April TBR. But you can expect the toll to be there somewhere, because I'm gonna find a way to fit it in. Like, honestly, I'm gonna find a way to fit it in. Last announcement before I get dressed, because I think I'm running late, but who cares, right? I can do it. I'm a superwoman, I can do it. Last announcement, I am DNFing Elantris. I'm not in the right mind for it right now. I don't want something overly complicated. And Elantris has a lot of political, world building, symbolism, religious things, and I'm honestly not with the mind for it right now, so I am DNFing it. Keep in mind that I will pick it up probably at some point because I am interested in the story. I'm just not in the right mind space to have something so complicated be my main read. So instead of that, for my adult prompt on my TBR jar, I am going with The Hunt by Lucy Foley. It was a book I should have read in February, but I didn't, so I'm reading it now. Yay! Now I'm gonna get dressed and I'm gonna read. I'm so excited. I have also started Atomic Habits by James Clear. I'm reading it like while I clean up the house and everything. It's so freaking good. I have to go now. I love you all. Mwah.